Welcome to this class of English. As you can see today, we are looking at transformation in English. Okay, with me, as usual, your teacher, Mr. A+. Okay, so this is our today's lesson, and this is under structure. So as you may be aware, in English, we only have two main parts: composition and the structure. Okay, so now this transformation that we are going to look at, we are actually specifically looking at dialect and the reported speech. Okay, so you can either use this word, alternatively indirect speech. So now the first question that we have is this one, which is actually read as the head teacher wants to say Mr. Pili in his office. The head teacher wants to say Mr. Pili in his office, announce the secretary. Okay, so the first question we are looking at the sentence that is written in direct speech. Now, when transforming that one, we should write the same sentence in indirect speech or reported speech without changing the meaning. Okay, so no wonder why in the first sentence you are able to see the inverted commas, because direct speech goes with the inverted commas. Okay, so now how can we transform this statement or sentence that we have? In fact, they have started for us where they are saying the secretary announced that, then we have to finish. So the first thing that I would like to encourage you is that transformation is in English is very important to understand very well, because they actually carry more marks. So one question is 1 mark, and they always come 10 in total. So that is 10 marks, which is a very huge number of marks. So you have to make sure that you understand everything, and you have the opportunity today that we are going to go through all the questions that I've prepared and understand eventually. Okay, so now quickly let's get back to our question. So here now we are reporting. So when we say direct speech, this is where now you are trying to communicate with the second singular person direct. Okay, then when reporting, this is where now you are trying to tell someone who was not there. By the time when you are communicating to that particular person, now you want to tell that person what you communicated. So meaning you are now reporting. So this is what is happening, because the direct here, they are saying the head teacher wants to see Mr. P in his office, announce the secretary. Now it's you to take up and report to your colleague, okay, what the head teacher actually wants. So the secretary announced that. We are now going to write like the secretary announced that the head teacher wanted, because now that is past. That is now past tense. You are trying to report to someone thing that had already happened. So now you are saying the head teacher wanted, or the secretary announced that the head teacher wanted, announced that the head teacher so this one's now come to past tense. Okay, why? Because you are reporting. So the secretary announced that the head teacher wanted to see Mr. Pili in his office. full stop. Okay? So it means you have actually reported without changing any meaning according to the meaning of the sentence. Okay? The head teacher wants to see Mr. Piri in his office, announce the secretary. Then you start. The secretary announced that the head teacher wanted to see Mr. Piri in his office. It means you are done. That is 1 mark. Then we go to the next one. Again, still we are starting with the the direct speech. Then you report. I have just finished reading Things Fall Apart by Acheba, said Mwape. Okay? That is now direct. I have just finished reading Things Fall Apart by Acheba, inverted comma. Then you put a comma there. Said Mwape. Then you start reporting. Mwape said that, so you are going to report like this. Mwape said that he had just finished reading, then you put an inverted there, things falls or fall apart by Acheba. Then full stop. So this time when you are reporting, you're not supposed to put the inverted comma because that is not direct. It's reporting now. Okay? So that is how the sentence is going to be. Mwape said that he had just finished reading Things Fall Apart by Acheba. Then full stop. You have scored another mark. Then we go to question number 3. The center can no longer hold the massive weight of the bridge, the engineer shouted. Okay? The center can no longer hold the massive weight of the bridge, inverted comma, direct speech. So these inverted commas are there for direct speech. Then the engineer shouted. Then you start reporting now. The engineer shouted that the center could do. So here now you say could. So this can will change to could. That is the past tense. You are reporting. Okay? So you say the engineer shouted that the center could no longer hold the massive weight of the bridge. Okay, the space here. The engineer shouted that the center could no longer hold the massive weight of the bridge. So here, once you change this can to could, it means everything has turned into what? Past tense. Therefore, the other word like hold will still maintain the same, okay? You can't say held there. Why? Because the could is already there, showing that the sentence is in a past tense. So you say the engineer shouted that the center could no longer hold the massive weight of the bridge. Means you have scored another mark. Then we go to question number 4. We see how we can also report that one, or rather writing it in indirect speech. We will meet soon on the other side of the river, Mundia said to Chipo. Okay. We will meet soon on the other side of the river, inverted comma and a comma there. Mundia said to Chipo. So now you start. Mundia told Chipo that they would do. So that will change to would in past tense. So Mundia told Chipo that they would meet on the other side of the river. Full stop. Okay? When reporting, always you have to put the full stop at the end of the sentence. So there you report like Mondia told Chipo that they would meet on the other side of the river. That is another mark. Then we go to question number 5. Mulenga, is Chansa the last born in your family? That is the question, direct speech. Okay? Mulenga, is Chansa the last born in your family? Asked Mwemba. So now you start. Mulenga, Ozi asked. Okay? Because the one who asked here is Mwemba. Then we are starting with the noun Mulenga. So Mulenga was asked. Okay? Was asked by Mwemba if Chansa was his last born in the family. Okay, so that is how you are going to report that speech. Okay, Mulenga, is Chansa the last born in your family? Asked Mwemba. Mulenga was asked by Mwemba if Chansa was his last born in the family. Full stop. That is how you are going to report. Okay? Then we go to another question. So for this one, as you can see, it is the other way around. Here, the sentence given is in a reported speech. Now you have to write it in a direct speech. That is question number 6. That's why in an exam, it's very, very important to actually understand the questioning very well. That's when you can actually give the correct answer to that given question. Okay? So here now, you have to check closely. This one is now reporting now. Okay, so now we want to do the reverse of what you have been doing from 1 up to 5. So Msopera asked the teacher if they were to come for study on Saturdays. Then here there is only inverted comma. We are starting with the inverted comma. Now, we need to write the direct speech of this report. Okay? Musopera asked the teacher if they were to come for start on Saturdays. So this is Musopera. So here, how you are going to phrase that question, because that is a question. In direct speech, you say, Musopera asked the teacher if they were to come for start on Saturdays. So you say now, Hawi. Okay? That is how Musopera now is the one asking. Okay? Hawi to come for start on Saturdays. You even put a question mark there Then you indicate the what? The inverted commas. Musopela asked the teacher if they were to come for studies on Saturdays. Are we to come for study on Saturdays? Musopela asked. So you say, you put first here the question mark, then inverted comma is there, then you say Musopela asked. Full stop. So this is the direct speech. Okay? The direct speech. So we are done with that one. We can go to the next question. Chanda told the boys that they were going for interviews the week after next. Chanda told the boys that they were going for interviews the week after next. So now you write it now directly now. Direct speech. So how is it going to be written? You are going to start. This is just a statement. There is no question. So this one was just saying Chanda. Chanda told the boys that they were going for interviews the week after next. So we are using the word we because Chanda was part of the journey. Okay, Chanda was there. So Chanda told the boys that they were going for interviews the week after next. So we are going for interviews. 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 That is direct now. We are going. This standard is telling now the boys. We are going for interviews the week after next. Or you can, this one you can write, when you are talking of next, then in reporting we can say, when it is in reporting, because the sentence is reported speech, so now when changing it, that next can go to following. Then that one, when you are again writing it directly, then reporting you say following, just the opposite of next is following. Now we can't follow that pattern. Why? Because here we are saying the week after. Okay? Week after next. So that's why next will still remain the same, the way it is. Okay? Unless if it was a consecutive one, the next, from that week, the next week, we can say following. So here we are going to say, we are going for interviews the week after. There is an inverted there before. The space was just too small here. So before the inverted, we are going for interviews the week after next. The week after next. Then you say inverted comma there, then comma, said, what was here? Said who? Chanda to the boys. Full stop. Okay? Said Chanda to the boys. Or Chanda told the boys. We are going for interviews the week after next. Then inverted comma. We have opened with an inverted comma there. This one, it is there. So you open. Then again from there, you close with the inverted. Then he said Chanda to the boys. It means you are done. You have actually written the reported speech into direct speech without changing any meaning. Then we got to question number 8. The driver shouted at the pedestrian to get out of the way. Okay, so pedestrians, actually we are talking about those people who move along the road on a foot. Then they just foot. So those people, they are called pedestrian. So this driver shouted. The driver shouted at the pedestrian to get out of their way. Okay? So now we start. First of all, since this is direct, we are writing now in direct speech. So we start with the inverted. We open inverted, then direct. Get out of the way. The driver shouted at the pedestrian. So get out of the way. Get out of the way. Then you put the inverted comma. Then you say the driver shouted. Shouted at pedestrian. Okay, so that is how it is going to be written now in direct speech. Get out of the way. The driver, the driver, get out of the way. The driver shouted at the pedestrian. You are done. Then you go to the last question number 9. Mutinta asked Mwansa who had left the dogs unchained in the backyard. Okay? Mutinta asked Mwansa who had left the dogs unchained in the backyard. That is the direct speech, or I mean reported speech. So we can write this one in direct speech now. Mutinta. So here, since Mutinta is the one who was asking, so now you are going to say Mwansa. Okay? Inverted, you say Mwansa. So since that is a noun alone, to separate that, you need to open it or to close this one. Inverted. You say Mwansa. Okay? Then Mutinta asked Mwansa, who has left who has left. This time now has. That is now, it's going to be in present because direct speech is present tense. Okay, here here the word was had, so that one will change to has. Okay, so say Mwansa, who has left the dogs unchained. Who has left the dogs unchained in the backyard. Mutinta asked. So you say now you put inverted there, comma, then Mutinta asked, full stop. Okay, meaning you have actually answered that one accordingly without changing your what? Without changing the meaning. So here the idea, when we are dealing with transformation, quite alright, English has got a lot of meaning. You would find that one sentence, you can write one sentence in different forms, in different ways. Okay, what is important is actually to follow the rules. Okay, 1. Then 2, make sure you don't change the meaning of the second sentence. So this is how we report or write direct speech when you are given reported speech in transformation. Thank you so very much for your attention. I would just encourage you to follow me on my Facebook channel. That is Mr. A plus. You can just go there, then you search. Definitely, you find my page. Then the other thing, you can also go to YouTube channel there, Pedagogy Academy. Just go there and subscribe for more exclusive videos. Not only that, I'm also found on TikTok. The name which is there is Mr. A plus. When you search there, you find me and you are going to learn a lot because I'm actually there to take you there academically. Thank you so very much.